We're going to be talking about 7 ways that you can stay mentally strong, because that is where the battle begins, is in your mind.
Absolutely. You know, it's like they always say, it's mind over matter. You know, you can do anything that you put your mind to. You just have to learn to train your mind. Yes. Think about all the people who pro wrestlers, football players, when they get hurt, they feel pain. Mm-hmm. They train their mind to just
block it out.
Ignore, you know. They don't sit there, oh, I need a morphine shot right now. No, they sit there and they block it out, you know. So it's really, truly, whatever you set your mind to is what you can truly, truly do.
And you know, we're working on, we've got, y'all know, we've changed our show recently to green screen, which we love all the different backgrounds that we can do. But today we're super excited. What you guys are actually looking at today is our Marridate website. It's so cute. Normally the little pictures behind it will rotate. But go check it out, guys. The events are live. We're looking for couples that want to be host couples, as well as couples that want to join.
You know? So if you're looking for things to do, ways to spice up your date life, ways to get back to being in the healthy relationship that you used to be in, or maybe you've never been in that healthy relationship and you want to learn how to be in that healthy relationship. Go to Marridate.com. As you guys can see, our website is up right here, as you see, big beautiful letters. Exactly. The phone number is on there. It's right here in this corner, right here. If y'all guys want to find any more information, you can give us a call at Marridate, or you can call the Matchmaker hotline, which is 1-866-479-8752. Yes. We're taking your calls live on air if you have any questions. Yes. For those of you who really want to know what Marridate is, Amber came up with this great idea after doing singles events for many years at matchmaking, and then working for an event planning company for a long time. She realized everybody focuses on the singles, right? But what happens when you get your boo and you want to move forward? What are you supposed to do? The singles club's not going to let you be in there anymore. You're no longer a single. So she created this private social club for couples, and our main goal is to cure the divorce rate, one couple at a time. We really focus on mental health. It's all about really getting to know your demons and facing them and getting past them together as a couple.
And it's really crazy, guys. I don't know why I can't share that on there, but it's really crazy, because one of the things that we're going to talk about when we come back from break is some of the reasons why you are over loving people, because the thing about it is that love will never be enough. Love is not what's going to change somebody. It's not a situation where you can love someone into wholeness or healthiness. You can't love them into being the person that you need or that you thought they were. A lot of times you guys are falling in love with potential, or falling in love with who you thought they were. And that's the problem, is you're falling in love with the potential instead of what the person is really showing you. And so we're going to go ahead and let's just jump into our commercial real quick so we can come back and go ahead and get started, because we have a lot to talk about today, guys.
Ooh, yes, we do. It's Monday, so it's one of those great, wonderful days that we come back from the weekend feeling refreshed. Yes. So we got a lot to share with y'all, but we'll be right back after our words from Marridate.
Watching a great show on Boss Up Houston Network. Have you heard? They're bossing up, okay? And I heard they're looking for you. Any podcasters, talk show hosts, if you're a writer or producer, we definitely need you. Come aboard and boss up.
Are you a small business?
I just got through watching a great show on Boss Up Houston Network. Have you heard? They're bossing up, okay? And I heard they're looking for you. Any podcasters, talk show hosts, if you're a writer or producer, we definitely need you. Come aboard and boss up.
Are you a small business owner that is struggling to promote your company?
Our topic today is, what's your status?
Shoot the dice at this point.
You just shoot the dice. Roll the dice.
So...
Yes.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's attorneys.
Alright.
Victoria Blanco.
I love it.
Imagine being televised on a national platform. How about being a host or sponsor on a syndicated podcast? Or being featured on exclusive promotions and interview for your product to your ideal customer? Hi, I'm Kayla Sneed, and I'm head of sales with Boss Up Houston. And here at Boss Up, we like to help small business owners and entrepreneurs advertise, promote, or become a sponsor for one of our television, podcast, or radio shows. All you have to do is click the link down below to see if you qualify. I'll be seeing you soon.
This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Hey guys, welcome back to Marridate Monday. We have some great words from the Boss Up Network CEO. Shout out to Shamir Bacon. We are looking to develop shows, you guys. We also work with Boss Up, and we're looking to develop your next idea. So hit us up, guys. Y'all check us out at the Boss Up Network website, Facebook page for more information. For more information about Amber Neal Productions, also go to amberneal.com. Today, guys, we are talking about signs that you might be over loving someone. And what that really makes me think about is it's directly tied to the self-love journey.
I completely agree right there, because when you never realize until you find that self-love how much you're giving to other people and you're taking away from yourself.
100. You cannot over love someone into loving you, no matter how much you love them. And it hurts. I get it. It hurts. You love them. You want the love returned. You want them to reciprocate. But guys, there are people out here that are so damaged, that have not done the work. They're not self-aware enough to know that they are the problem, and they go around breaking people's hearts over and over again. And if you look at their history of their relationships, it's just been one devastation after another. And they probably have a lot of people that hate them because they're not honest with their capability on what they can offer emotionally. They're emotionally unavailable. So today, guys, we're going to talk about signs that you over love people. And then at the bottom of the hour, we're going to come back and talk about 7 ways to stay mentally strong, because that is really where the battle starts.
Absolutely. It truly is. If you can't get mentally right, then you truly can't get right at all. That's why we recommend therapy to everybody we come across, because therapy is what's going to really get you there. Your best friend may help you get slightly there, but they're not going to know how to professionally get you there.
They're going to help you cuss them out and feel better for first few minutes. Forget them. Let's go out. But therapy is the focus, guys. Therapy is the focus. Healthy singles make healthy couples. So today, as you guys can see, we've got the Marridate website pulled up behind us. For more information, go to marridate.com. The phone number is there. And if you want to call into the show today, we're going to put the phone number on the screen for you guys right there. We've got a toll-free number. Call into the Matchmaker hotline if you are experiencing any of these things, or you finally came to that realization that I am over loving people and it don't change a damn thing.
I've learned throughout my self-love journey that I was that way. I overloved so many people and wasn't loving myself.
Yeah.
I was giving every ounce of energy I had to them, but I wasn't saving none for myself.
That part.
So when do you finally stop and say, what about me and my love? What am I, where do I get to go and be happy?
Because you don't feel you deserve it. And that's why you think that if you love them enough, they're going to see what a great person you are. And then they're going to return the love. They're going to fall in love with how much you love them. That doesn't work, especially if they are incapable of love because they are damaged and unhealed and haven't done the work on the self-love journey. So let's jump in. Number one, what's number one, DJ Houston?
Number one, signs that you overlove people. You let people hurt you again and again and again because you don't know when to let go, or it's not easy to let go for you.
Easy.
I mean, I completely agree. It's never what you want. You hurt. And it hurts saying goodbye to somebody, whether it's in a good way or a bad way, whether it's for the best or not. It hurts because you feel like you're losing a part of yourself, but that's where you have to stop and rethink. You're not losing a part of yourself. Matter of fact, you're probably gaining more of yourself because you're finally, you're learning what not to do, what not to have, what you don't like. It's part of that. Instead of seeing the glass half full, half empty, you see it half full.
And that's the thing is, you know, they always say the hardest part about letting someone go is figuring out when. Is it, you know, when do you let go? When do you keep fighting? And so today, guys, we're going to give you all some clues into when you probably should let go or stay on, because, you know, if you're over loving them, that's not going to be the solution. Number 2 tip that you might be over loving somebody is that you overthink every little detail way too much, and you care about every little small thing that they do in their life, and it affects you. Everything they do, small thing, or, but you know what? I found this thing I also wanted to go over, you guys. We'll come back when we come back from break. Remind me, we're going to talk to you guys about that. I came across this thing in psychology talking about how texting is the worst form of communication, like I've always said, but it basically breaks down why you shouldn't text in a fight. So that's pretty good. So I just want to bring that up when we come back. Remind me about that. Made me think about that. But what made me think about that was when you care if they text you, if you care if they respond, you're checking your phone to see if they read. You're literally obsessed with this person, and you literally live for every action or interaction that they give you. That no matter how small, it's a crumb, it's a breadcrumb, but ooh, you are like, let me get them crumbs.
Yes, little duckling, get them crumbs, okay? I can't agree with you more right there. It's wasteful thinking too, you know. All those long nights you sit there and you wonder things that may not even ever be happening. You're being your own worst enemy, and you shouldn't. You really shouldn't, because it don't jump down that rabbit hole. That's not a rabbit hole that's good for you to go down, you know. And instead of speculating, just ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know better than anybody how your partner is. You can tell if your partner's lying. So, you know, just ask. And if you catch them in a bold-faced lie, tell them, well, you know what? I just caught you in a lie, and we really got to talk about this, because this isn't going to happen. You know, you have to, when it comes to feelings and relationships, you have to be upfront. You have to be honest. Communication. No matter how uncomfortable it is, you have to communicate that you're feeling some type of way, whether it's a good way or a bad way. So that brings us to, you know, our next topic right there, or our next sign that you overlove people. You lie, and your lie and world revolves around them so much that you become blind to understand the difference between right and wrong.
Ooh-wee.
You've ever been blinded so bad by dick?
Distracted.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you distracted, ladies and fellas? Because, man, I'm going to get my book and show y'all my book, because I keep forgetting. I got a new book out. It's called How My Kitty Betrayed Me. And that's exactly what it's talking about. It's how being on the forefront of the women's lib movement, they didn't really prepare you for how much a distraction that sex can be.
Ooh.
It's crazy. It'll have you completely off of your path.
You know, and that's something that I feel like they should also teach in sex education class. You know what I'm saying? Like, they teach us about what happens when we have sex and the downfalls and the accidents that can happen, but they never teach you about the emotional attachment, you know, the what happens when you get ghosted. You know what I'm saying? Like, they never bring that up to life. Like, nobody ever talks about it ever.
Yeah,
like,
they don't teach
and I think that's why, you know, we have such a great thing going on, because we're here to share this education with people, instead of, you know, locking it up in a box and saying, ooh, this is taboo, we don't talk about this, throw this out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's a shame. Why? It's sex, we all do it. And instead of trying to teach, I mean, don't get me wrong, abstinence is probably the best way to go, but instead of, you know, we know abstinence isn't the way people are going, so instead of ignoring the facts, why don't we just teach what we really know and help people? Maybe if we educate them, we can. It's
kind of the same argument of giving condoms in the schools. You know, some people are like, oh, you're advocate for premarital sex, or you're advocate. I'm like, no, I'm a realist. I know these kids are going to do it. They are having sexual relations at 5 years old in some cases. I'm telling you, the age of innocence is 5 years old now, thanks to the internet. So y'all can bury your head in the sand if you want to, but you better know what's going on with your kids, because if you don't teach them yourself, they're gonna find out from the street. I promise you they will, and it's usually not as good of a result. At least I would rather be involved with my kid and be real than let something happen to them and never be able to forgive myself because they feel like they could talk to me. You know what I'm saying? So guys, today we're talking about signs you overlove people, and that usually will keep you single, because all the time that you're sitting here overloving this wrong person, there's many men or women that wish they could be your person.
Right.
There's people in line right now like, I hope he messes up.
Or you could be really missing the opportunity for Mr. Right. You know, Mr. Right could have been waiting there all along and got tired of waiting because he thinks that, you know, you're never going to get out of that sham that you're in.
100.
So,
100.
you know, time. We talked about this on Friday. You know, time is one resource in this world you can never get back.
Amen.
So don't waste it.
Shout out to Trisha Kyle tuning in. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, Trisha.
Today we're talking about signs that you overlove someone. And the short answer is it's just because you don't love yourself. I mean, that's the meat of it. If you just want to get to the heart of it, if you're just tuning in, you don't love yourself. And we're going to tell you why. We're going to tell you some of the actions that you're doing that's going to give you some tips to be kind of indications that you're overloving, because maybe you grew up where overloving was normal. Maybe you grew up where having to prove yourself was normal because you never got that approval from your parents, so you spend the rest of your life trying to get it from your mate. So everything is directly tied to your childhood. That's why shrinks want to know up front. Tell me about your childhood. Okay, so number 4, guys, today we're talking about signs you overlove people. Number 4 is that a sign that you're overloving is that you can't give up easily, and you keep trying to put your best effort until you realize you don't get the same. How many times does somebody have to slap you in the face before you have enough? Okay, let me guess. You're going to turn the other cheek. Okay, well, let him slap that one too. And you're still stupid. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy to think that you letting someone abuse you is going to be the answer to making it better. Do you see where we're going with this?
Right.
You don't love you, or you wouldn't allow it.
Exactly, and that's why that's why it's very important during your self-love journey to realize, to step back and look that, like, sometimes you're the problem. Sometimes you are giving too much of yourself. You need to draw that line in the sand and say, no, these are my boundaries, and I'm not going to let anybody, I don't care who it is, not your mama, not your daddy, not your fiance, not your lover, your one-night stand, nobody, you understand me? You can't let nobody step over those boundaries. It's important to have boundaries in this world. If not, then you really let everybody walk all over you, let them do whatever they want, and then you start feeling less about yourself. You don't love yourself as much, and so stuff like that, it chips away at your soul, your confidence every day. So step back sometimes and say, hey, I'm not drawing my lines big enough, apparently. So, like, withdraw yourself from the situations. That brings us to number 5 on signs that you overlove people. You pour too much of yourself into people and relationships. You it's always about them first. The easiest example is, oh, you hungry? Yeah. Oh, well, I'm craving some pizza tonight. Well, you know what? I want Chinese food, and that's what. And you're like, okay, that's fine. We're gonna go with Chinese food. It could be small stuff like that.
It really is. You give them head, they don't give you head back.
Right. Exactly.
A selfish lover is a.
Absolutely. So until one day you feel so empty inside, and you don't know what to do. You don't know how you got there, and so instead you're feeling rejoiceful. You're feeling hate and resentment. Exactly. You're sitting here asking yourself the red flag signs. You're sitting here, why am I here? How did we get to this position? What did I do to deserve this?
If you're saying all this, that is your clue this is the wrong relationship, because if it's from God, it will not have confusion in it.
Absolutely.
It won't. And it sure won't leave you feeling empty inside. It won't feel it. That is not God's best for you. And that's what you really got to ask yourself. Is this God's best for me? That's why you got to really be sharp and be smart with anything you feel like you need to have in order to be happy. Because, hey, the enemy can send that perfect person looking like a beautiful angel from God, that this is your Prince Charming or Princess Charming. And then it's damn spawn of Satan, because you were so thirsty for the right mate that you didn't check the spirit. Now listen, I know some of you guys out there do check the spirit, but there are narcissists out here wearing masks that are equivalent to con artists calling you to try to send you money. I'm telling you, check the spirit, slow down, build the friendship, build the foundation so that you have more time to see who people really are.
And if y'all guys are just now tuning in, if you have any questions, comments, you want to be on the show, hit us up at 866-479-8752.
Yes.
The Matchmaker hotline is available to y'all 24 hours a day. If y'all guys catch this, after we're live, don't be afraid to call in. We're here to give you all the advice we can possibly give you.
Yes, guys, and we're talking about firsthand experience. Yes, I've been a matchmaker 17 years, but I've also wrote a book called How My Kitty Betrayed Me, because I can match you all day long, but the thing is there's generational curses in your family, and until you realize you're even in the middle of a curse, you can't break it. So it's very important to become self-aware, to look at your relationships and go, hey, yeah, they might all have been jerks, but why the hell did I attract them?
Right.
That's your clue that you're not healed.
Because if there's one thing that I've learned, from attracting all the toxic people that I've ever attracted, you think that there's nothing wrong with you until you step back and you're like, hold on. The only common denominator here is me.
Yeah.
And when you finally can step back and be self-aware, that's when your life changes. That's when you start becoming more self-aware and not absorbed or self-involved, but more like you really start loving yourself more. That's the only way I can really put it, is you just really start loving yourself more.
That self-love journey is super real, guys. The next one is that tips that you overlove somebody is that you don't pay attention to your dreams and career at all, because you're always busy looking after them and their big goals. And listen, I'm the kind of person, my dream is to be a couple that's entrepreneur and hustling together. The crazy part is you meet all kinds of unhealed people out here that want to compete with you, that want to hate on you. You're sleeping with the damn enemy in your bed, and you're wondering why when you pray for God to remove your enemies, he's still there. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're scared to pray. I'm telling you, the thing about it is that if you are putting their dreams, I've said this to a young couple who got married in college, it can work. I think first love is the hardest and the most intense love you'll ever feel before you ever go through heartbreak. Because the more heartbreaks you go through, the more jaded you are, the more skewed your vision is on love. You factor in the hurt part to your decision making from there forward.
Yeah.
But before you get hurt for the first time, right? Like from a divorce, young love that meets in college can 100% work if and it's a big if, the people in it don't give up their dreams of who they were going to be when they grew up.
Right.
Because who you are at college age is not even close to who you'll be at 25.
Oh, man.
And then again at 30 and 35 and 40. That's why you see all these people that have been married 20 years, and then the kids are growing, now they want to leave each other.
Exactly.
Somebody felt lost. Somebody felt like they gave up something and feel resentful, and they didn't live out their best dreams. So while maybe he's at work and living his best life and hanging out with friends and networking and doing that, and you're at home with the kids all the time, but hey, maybe you really had that dream to be a therapist, or maybe you wanted to own your own business, but you gave it all up for him. And that's why women get so freaking bitter and resentful, because they do this all over and over, especially in the older days, give up their whole freaking, look at the actors, give up their whole freaking career.
Yeah,
and then boom, and then now the kids are grown and you're older and he's happy and doing his thing, and you're sitting here like, what the hell happened to me? I had dreams, but
and that's exactly
that's
why
miserable.
And that's exactly one of the reasons why Amber created Marridate, because with Marridate we focus so much on that mental health, try to really get to the roots of your problems, so that way you can figure out how to work through these problems so they're not there anymore. A lot of times especially these older couples, that are like that, where they may have gotten pregnant young and stayed together because, it was the right thing to do. Nobody says that you can't find love, or that you aren't in love still. It just means that you are lost, as Amber said. So, we sit you down with a therapist and let a therapist talk to you and tell you what to do. And if you follow the therapist's advice, we give you free travel. There's incentives, plenty of incentives. So, guys, if you're having a hard time in your relationship, or if you're not even having a hard time and you want to keep from having a hard time, you want to keep the relationship fun the whole time. You
got a bucket list?
Join Marridate. We can help you with that bucket list. Something that Amber realized a long time ago is that people have to have a budget for either traveling or or socializing, right? Exactly. And so with Marridate, we help you do both. We help you meet new couples And we go and give you travel so that way
Yes.
you can go and take these vacations and
Yes.
have fun, meet these new couples that you're going to meet internationally. Like, it's such a great program, guys. So if y'all guys want, go check out our website right here, marridate.com. You know, you see
He's
right
Vanna
here.
White for you. What's the last one? I got
And the last one, you know, on signs that you overlove people. You compromise your own smile. Your own smile. Your smile.
your smile.
For the sake of their happiness.
Yeah.
You spend hours thinking about how you can make them act happy or how you can make them feel happy or what can I do, even if it costs me my fun,
Everything.
what can I do to try to put a smile on their face? And you know what sucks? You know what really sucks? Even when you do that, sometimes it still doesn't work.
It don't work.
It don't.
It don't. Yeah, I mean that's like trying to get a pit bull not to bite you. I mean, not that all pit bulls bite. I mean, there are friendly pit bulls too. But I'm just saying, like, but the natural pit bull that's not domesticated. But all I'm saying is, you know, and the funny thing is, it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile.
Ooh. Interesting.
All we're saying, guys, is be true to yourself. If you find yourself in misery, if you find that most every day you're waking up to live for someone else, to worship someone else, to help someone else, to be that special someone, and you are not pouring anything into your cup, and then you sit there and you're going to be like, why is my cup's empty? Because you gave it all away. You have to know your worth to know that you deserve someone to pour back into your cups. And until you heal that one part of you that you believe you deserve the same, equal to, or better treatment than you offer, you're going to stay in this vicious cycle of over-loving people and thinking that I can just prove myself and they'll eventually love me.
Right, and it
Wrong.
sucks because you literally lose so much of yourself. You know, you absorb so much of their personality that a lot of times you completely forget who you are. You forget the things that you used to do for fun or your relaxation techniques. You know, you completely, and it's not good just. It's not good because your mental and your physical strength gets taken away, you know? When you can't mentally be of clear mind, there's no way you can physically be stable. You know what I'm saying? Because you're living this life of why do I deserve this, you know? And so you're struggling every day just to wake up. So I know if you're mentally fighting, I know you can't be physically sound, you know? It's almost impossible. Like if your mind's not clear, you're not going to want to get up to do something.
Good segue, guys. When we come back from our break, we're going to talk about 7 methods to remain mentally strong in a very hectic life.
Right. So, you know, as soon as we get back from this little commercial break from Marridate, which once again, guys, if y'all haven't checked out our website, go check it out. And we will be right back right after this short little commercial break. Marridate, Houston's first private social club for couples.
Hello, I'm Larry.
And I'm Denise. And we are the Scotts.
Denise and I have been married for almost a year now, and it has been a thrill.
Yes, it has. We are always honeymooning and always on the go, doing something as a couple.
And that's what I love about my wife, Denise. She is full of energy, she's full of excitement, and she is full of love.
And I love you for allowing me to shine my love in your life. And I'm super ready to share a lifetime of memory with you.
She's my wife.
He's my husband.
She's my friend.
He's my friend.
She's my everything.
He's my everything.
She's my queen.
He's my king.
She's my lifetime.
He's my lifetime. This is what makes a happy marriage.
And we both believe what God put together. No one can ever tear apart.
Join Marridate today by visiting www.marridate.com. Marridate, Houston's
Want to be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
guys, welcome back into the Amber Neal Show. It is Marridate Monday. We're so excited. We've got all of our new cool little green screens and backgrounds. So y'all vote. Y'all tell us, which one do you like the best as you see this week? We're going to go through some different backgrounds and see which one. We're trying to design our new virtual set.
I mean, personally, this one's probably my favorite one. I like the space theme.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, I'm DJ Houston. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. H-Town, home of space. You know,
yes.
I love that anything spacey vibes. You know, and that purple just really. Purple and love to me, I don't know. I know everybody associates red and love, but I'm like,
I think of Prince when I see purple.
Yeah, I mean, but Prince
I love Prince.
I'm like, Prince talked a lot about love, though. Yes, so you know what I'm saying? Sang about it, talked about it. So.
Well, we've got a really good show for you guys today. If y'all just tuned in, we just got finished talking about signs that you overlove someone. Y'all go back and rewind that. Hit that up. Y'all check that out on the Boss Up Houston YouTube page. And we are going to jump into our next topic, which is 7 ways to stay mentally strong. Because as you were concluding the last segment, we were talking about if your mind ain't right, you're not going to be able to even be mentally strong enough to sustain a relationship. And listen, guys, relationships go through fights. They go through disagreements. They go through things. I get that part. But if you're the only one pouring into the relationship and most of the time you just feel depleted, that is your sign that you probably are in a relationship that is not healthy for you. So let's jump right in, guys. 7 methods to remain mentally strong in a hectic life. What's number 1?
You write down 3 things that you are thankful for every day. And this is something that's going to really help reassure you, to stay in that positive mind frame, to as I like to say, to train your brain to say cancel, cancel, cancel.
Yes.
When you start thinking bad thoughts. So if you wake up every day and you have 3 refreshing goals, even if they're just, I'm not talking about your big end of year goals or anything. I'm talking about your day-to-day goals.
Goals.
Today I'm going to make sure I get, instead of sitting down for my 15-minute break doing nothing, I'm going to watch an instructional video on doing my favorite hobby during my 15-minute break. Small stuff like that. That's going to help you really train your brain to start thinking more positively, start thinking, getting into a routine of thinking like that. Because that's all it really is. Training your brain is just doing something repetitive, repeatedly.
They say if you write it down that you're more likely to remember it, especially when you're studying for tests. It's all about writing it down. I have a whiteboard, so I like to write things on my whiteboard, especially if it's in the middle of the night. You get those really good ideas. You should always have something to be able to write it down. Even in comedy, they tell me, my mentors will always write it down immediately in the moment when it happens, because you're not going to remember things as you thought of them later. You think you will, but you won't.
Right.
Write it down.
You may think part of it, but you'll forget the main part. I know exactly how that goes. I forget right after I say it.
Guys, if you are just tuning in, we're talking about some ways you can become and remain mentally strong, because listen, this is spiritual warfare. This is a straight battle for your mind. And if the enemy can get your mind, he can get your whole life. So today we're going to give you guys ways to stay mentally strong. So definitely write it down. Number 2 is something I probably have struggled with my whole life, and the right person can still pull it out of me. That's how I know it's not somebody I want to be friends with or be cool with or even associate with, if they pull me back into who I've outgrown. If they pull me back into the old me. And so number 2, ways to stay mentally strong, is never get into an argument with a stranger.
I know that's a tough one.
That's kind of hard, because some people really can get it. But at the end of the day, honest to God, I have changed so much just in this last year. It's crazy. I used to be that person. I have an A-type personality. I'm confrontational. If we have a problem, you don't have to wonder. You're going to know with me. There's nothing passive about me. Number 2, I feel like, I feel like it doesn't change anything. You can go tell somebody you've right. I'll give you an example. There's somebody right now that I could totally have beef with, that I could go start something with, because I feel like they did me wrong in business, and not extreme, but just the way they handle things is kind of shady and crappy. But normally the old me, I would have confronted them, right?
Right.
Or if somebody would have cut me off in line, or if somebody would have flipped me off in traffic. I mean, there's been times I'm not proud of this, but there's been times I've told somebody to pull over and we could handle it. And then there was 3 people that got out of the car. There's been times I've definitely left the club running from the police. There's been times I've definitely got into it with strangers my whole life. But I've worked really hard to not be that person anymore, to not be temperamental, because the temper came from just being unhealed. When you're unhealed, everything will set you off.
Everything.
I mean, it could be the smallest, you dropped your keys on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody knocks on, who is it? You know? I mean, so the thing about it is just be cognizant of your temper and getting into it with other people, because honey, nowadays, when we grew up, it was this.
Right.
Nowadays is this. So people shoot and don't ask questions later. So be careful, guys, because according to the sheriff of Houston, he did a press conference and was specifically talking in Houston about how the murders of what do you call it?
The murder rate?
In driving, what do you call that?
Oh, so the road rage
the road rage incidents, yeah. That the murders have like doubled in Houston. Now, granted, we are becoming more like New York, and it's getting more crazy and traffic 24/7. But just be careful. Don't let your temper get you into something, because at the end of the day, they're a stranger.
Right. If y'all guys have a story, or if you have something else that you want to throw down, you know, on how to stay mentally strong, hit us up at the Matchmaker Hotline, 866-479-8752. The number's across the screen, just in case you didn't hear me. So the 7 methods to remain mentally strong in a hectic life. Number 3, you need to stop comparing yourself to others. This right here is so hard because of Instagram and Facebook, and now we have OnlyFans. Like, everybody's trying to compete with everybody else's OnlyFans, which is just so stupid. What you really need to do is just put yourself in a bubble and concentrate on yourself. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Don't worry about what other people say about you. You know, it's not their life. It's not their body. It's yours. Love it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't love it, change it.
Do we have the same thumbprint?
No.
Does anyone have the same thumbprint?
Twins, maybe? But no. I'm like, I don't think so.
Not even twins. No one has the same thumbprint. That should be your indication that you are unique and individual. Celebrate your uniqueness. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody told me years ago, because I've always been an outsider in the sense that I get along with everybody, but I don't fit in anywhere. And I really struggled with that my whole life, even as an adult. Even now, being a leader in the community, I still am kind of a loner. I still just kind of stay to myself. I love helping everybody, but I've also felt so different and so unique, because that's your clue. When you feel unique and different and you don't feel like you fit in, that's your clue that God has purposed you for something specific. Something very specific. We all have a purpose and we have a reason. If you reach your destiny, your calling will determine how happy you are in life in general. But at the end of the day, comparing yourself to other people is a waste of time.
It really is, because, you know, you don't, even if you grow up with the same struggles, or you're dealing with the same struggle every day, everybody's struggle is different. You always, you don't take the same path as anybody else. You know, it's your life, it's your journey. That's why God made us all completely different and independent, you know, because, and gave us free will. Because we all do live something different every day, you know. I could be going through domestic violence, you could be going through domestic violence, but our stories could be completely different. You know, the way we handle it, to the way we deal with it, to the way we process the trauma, you know, could be completely different. So don't ever compare yourself to anybody. Or especially online, especially like Instagram and stuff. Don't compare yourself to those people, because those people right there have to know, like, not even half, 90% of the time are fake. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. You're not ugly. You're just poor. Okay? Because when you get some money, you can get it all, whatever you want. But at the end of the day, fall in love with their soul. This is why the divorce rate is so crazy, because people are falling in love with the shell of a person that is usually not what they really look like. They didn't wake up like that. So, anyway, what's the next one? Declutter. By 7 methods to remain mentally strong is declutter by getting rid of stuff you haven't used in a long time. I'm so guilty of that. I mean, I have stuff from high school. I have stuff from elementary. Honestly, I still have my little froggy. Shout out to my mom, my little stuffed animal, Mr. Froggy. I used to sleep with when I would get scared. But the thing is declutter things that you don't use, junk, hoarding. I'm telling you, nothing makes me feel more prepared for the day than when my house is clean, my car is clean, I've cleaned out trash, I've cleaned out stuff I don't wear anymore. There's a lot of people that need your old clothes, your old shoes. There's a lot of people that are really suffering. And if you literally have had this, if you've looked at this outfit for like 35 times this year and you've never touched it, honey, throw it away.
Right.
Or donate it, whatever. But declutter. I'm telling you, decluttering is clue. And even psychology says you can tell how someone's mind is by the way their car looks.
Ooh, by the way their car looks. I didn't even think about that. I know, I mean, I keep a clean car.
It.
You know, I've always kept a clean car. But I know that, you know, the days when I'm feeling bad and stuff, a lot of times I'll just, you know, pump up the jams and I'll start cleaning, you know. And by the time I'm done cleaning, I don't even remember that I was upset. And then I look around and I'm like, ooh, it's so clean in here. Look at everything I just accomplished. Now let's dirty it back up.
And even if you're going through financial hardships, celebrate everything you have. That you have a roof, that you have something over your head. Stop comparing, declutter this stuff. So if you're feeling stressed, cleaning is actually tied to OCD in some ways. If you have OCD, you'll notice OCD people are constantly cleaning, and that usually stems from abandonment issues, and it makes them feel in control when they're cleaning. So if you kind of OCD and you feel like your mind's kind of a mess, go clean. I promise you. Go declutter, and you will feel so much better.
Honestly, though, I don't think I've ever met an OCD person who doesn't have a clean place or isn't constantly cleaning. Because
100%.
I know I'm one of them, and like the second I see that my house is getting dirty, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I gotta clean. Like I may have like spots here and there that are kind of like not dirty, but like not 100% clean. But there's always two places in my house that are usually always clean. My kitchen and my bathroom.
Exactly.
Because my bathroom's where I'm supposed to get clean.
Yes, exactly.
And my kitchen's supposed to be clean because I worked in the restaurant industry for a long time. And if there's anything that I learned from the health department, it's about how to take care of sanitation. And your kitchen is filthy. People don't even realize how dirty it is. So I'm constantly, those are two things that I have to keep clean no matter how I'm feeling. And if they're dirty, y'all know that something's really wrong. Because dang. Which brings us to our next one: 7 methods to remain mentally strong in a hectic life. You want to spend time alone regularly. You know, make sure you have your time of day, whether it's right after work, before work, or even during your lunch break. You know, where you're just alone. You get to process your thoughts. You get to sit back and analyze the day and see, you know, is there anything that I can do better? Is there anything that, you know, somebody else did wrong to me? Just analyze, you know, sit back, think about it. If you can't be alone with your thoughts, then you need some serious therapy.
It's really one of those things where that is the hardest part of the self-love journey is, you know, when I try to coach people to tell them you have to be alone during this time period of this healing part, they don't want to hear that part. That's the part I'm a togetherness person. I'm a relationship person. No, you are a failed relationship person. You are not a relationship person. You are lonely, you're codependent, you're miserable in this, but yet a piece of a person is rather better than none. And there's this whole new trend right now going on where very successful women are literally finding guys that are, you know, 10, 15 years younger, and they let him sit on the couch, play video games, but they don't give a damn. They really don't mind. He don't have a job. They 100% support him. They take care of him because I got a man. Wow. No, you got a man boy. That's what you got. You got an F boy too. And the thing is, because no self-respecting woman should ever be in a position that you feel like I've accomplished all these things, but I'm incomplete if I don't have somebody sitting on my couch. You got to be comfortable alone. And I'm telling you, this is the foundation and key to the self-love journey. If you can't get through this part, that you have to spend time alone regularly, you will never complete the self-love journey. You just won't. There's no way around it. You can't. Oh, is there a shortcut? No. You gotta let it burn. You gotta let it heal.
And let me tell you, the self-love journey and it all depends on you and how unhealed you truly are. But the self-love journey can take weeks to years.
You
know
what you've been through.
I have been on my self-love journey for the past 5 years now.
Yeah, me too.
And it's every day I learn something new. But it doesn't mean that I'm not ready to date or I am not capable of loving. It just means that there's still certain things that I have to work on.
Yeah.
Or there's certain things
you.
exactly, or there's certain things that I'm not going to allow people to do to me.
Right.
That's all it is. And all I'm saying is that I'm still on this love journey. It's just because of the fact that I think in reality, as human beings, we will never ever be done with a self-love journey.
No,
because
will not.
You can learn to love yourself so much every day.
Yeah, because every time you meet somebody new, it gives you a chance to exercise what you've learned. And when we talk about this, why exes come back after you've healed, I think God's just trying to see if you're still stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Like, did you get the lesson, dummy? Do you need him to hurt you some more? How many times do you need him to hurt you before you actually get this together?
How many times do you need me to knock you down and
Yeah.
tell you, hello, this isn't the time, this isn't the place? Because we're not saying that, they are not your special person, but it could be the wrong time. And God's trying to tell you it's the wrong time.
Time is everything.
It really, truly is.
Yeah.
You can truly, your first love could be the love of your life.
Right.
But because it's your first love and neither one of you are trained on loving it, because that's what it is. It's being trained on how to love. If you're not trained on it, then it's not the right time.
I really like the next one, though, because we were just talking about this today, about how men are not expected to be able to cry. And that's that's so sad, because I think domestic violence would be a totally different thing in this world if men were able to process their emotions. But number 6, guys, ways to really remain mentally strong. Sometimes you just need to cry. When you're frustrated, I know I do. I know there'll be times I can't even contain it. I'm just so frustrated. And psychology says that if you cry, if the first tear that comes out of your eye on your right side is happiness, this is sadness, and when they both come out together, it's frustration. When it's just pouring out of you, because you're just so frustrated.
When the floodgates open, it's just,
But what happens if you don't do that? That's the real question. That's when the coping
Resentment.
mechanism, the self-medication, the partying, the being promiscuous, turn into all your coping. Hell, you might just throw yourself into work overdrive. But at the end of the day, it's about not having coping mechanisms and allowing yourself to sit in the pain and feel it and go through it. And don't judge it. Don't tie an emotion to what you're feeling. Observe it and let it go. Just, okay, this has frustrated me. This is da-da-da. It's okay, though. Don't get down the rabbit hole of, well, I shouldn't feel like this, and I'm a loser because I'm crying, and this is wrong. No, don't do any of that. Literally observe the emotion and let it go. Just let it out. I'm frustrated. It's okay to say, I'm frustrated. You don't have to do nothing else than to say, I'm frustrated, I need to cry it out. Because if you don't, you're going to bottle it down, and then somebody in your life that don't even deserve it is going to get it when you finally blow up.
You're absolutely right. It's when you bottle all those. I used to be one of the people that bottled my emotions up so bad to the point where, school forced me to go to therapy because they were like, you blow up on people too often. And I'm like, yeah, well, I am sorry. I keep so much stuff inside. And then that one person that just decides, hey, he wants to shake the bottle some more.
Not today,
the top's going to blow up. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
So I really learned, I was stubborn when I was younger. I refused to go to therapy. I was like, therapy's garbage. All they're going to do is sit there and ask me how I feel. And not realizing all along that that's all I ever needed was somebody to ask me how I feel,
right.
Because I'm keeping all my feelings bottled up. Everything that I do, whether it's anger, hurt, happiness, I keep it all bottled up because I don't want to disappoint anybody,
It's a Libra in you, he can't help it.
I really couldn't. And
but
there
that
still
goes
is.
back to not putting them before you.
Exactly.
It's okay. We're not talking about being selfish. We're talking about self-preservation. We're talking about you can't love anyone until you love you. And when you're over-loving, it's because you don't love you. You're trying to get it externally from someone else.
You truly are. You're trying to show them, I'll bend over backwards just for you to love me because I don't love myself. And that's the exact definition of codependent. You need somebody to love you. And a lot of times they're not even loving you. You just want the body there because the physical presence makes you feel like you're getting love. But in reality, you're not.
Yeah, because you think you're looking for love, but you just want some affection sometimes.
Exactly, you know, and that's why, you
You're
know,
trapped up.
oh, it's so tough. It's kind of tough for me to talk, you know, because it's like, it really reminds me about how my journey has been, you know, about all the things that I've gone through in my life and all the toxic people that I've dated and all the people that have really hurt me. So, you know, like, I'm just trying to tell you guys, you know, it's something that we all have to learn at our own pace, at our own time, but we want to teach you how to get there.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said, like we say all the time, it's never something that's just made up. This is just stuff that we've truly gone through in our life. So, you know, we're not professional therapists or doctors or anything like that. We just know from experience.
I am a date coach.
She is a date coach. She
17
is.
years in the
You know,
game.
so
Don't
she
get
knows
twisted.
she knows about the love part. And,
But I also
and-
know that I was very toxic growing up with my parents getting divorced 3 times. And my mom was a matchmaker, married all her friends to their husbands. They stayed together. None of us ever had a divorce from our clients. It don't mean that you, just because you have a gift of discernment and you can help other people with it, don't mean you didn't grow up in a generational curse, which we did, which we're healing. And somebody in your bloodline has to be strong enough to say, it ends with me. Enough. And guess what? That's going to heal me, my daughter, my mom, her mom. You know what I mean? It's going to go back up the healing lines. And then what's the last one? Because I want to talk about this if we have time real quick.
You know, we got a little bit of time. So the last sign for 7 methods to remain mentally strong in a hectic life is, you know, you gotta breathe and take one thing at a time, one step at a time. You know, you gotta crawl before you can walk.
One day at a time, Jesus.
You know, just wake up and be happy for what you got today.
The fact that you woke up, that should be it. When you're writing the top 3 things that you're grateful for, that you rolled me out of bed, that you actually gave me life, that I saw another day. And, you know, just don't take life for granted. And yeah, we hope this, guys, has really helped you figure out if you're overloving people, some ways to stay mentally healthy. But we're going to close the show with this meme that I saw. It's also Meme Mondays for Marridate Mondays. So I want to go over this meme real quick with you guys. And it says, stop fighting through text messages. And we know that it's ineffective. But basically it says, arguing through text message when emotionally overwhelmed is probably the worst way to engage in conflict. Establish a mutually agreed upon boundary in your relationship that you will not fight via text. Here are ways to think about as to why this is important.
A text message only contains a fraction, 7 to 10% of your communicative potential.
Wow.
So, you know, you're not able to read my
That's
face
crazy.
signs. Because think about it. A lot of us, like you see me, I talk a lot with my hands and my face. So you can't see that through text message. That means that there is a higher potential to misunderstand and feel invisible.
Ooh.
Like you're not being heard, or things that you're trying to say
That's
is just
the
not
worst.
coming out. You know, when you fight all the time, you're like, I didn't mean it that way. You took it wrong. Duh, because you said it through a text message. I took it the way I wanted to take it.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to sensitive conflicts that likely put you both on the defensive side and create vulnerability. Vulnerability. Goodness gracious. Text arguments are a recipe for disaster.
You know, you can't put in your tone, inflection. It's really hard to, you can't tell. That's why they're so ineffective. But text is a flat black and white form of communication. Intonation, pitch, tone are the colors completely absent from a text. These are the aspects of our verbal communication that create meaning and emotion. It is the sharing that creates a connective moment. This is the difference between a sarcastic remark that lightens the mood and an insult.
Ooh, absolutely.
I'm like, excuse me, you want to fight? What'd you say?
Yeah, because you don't know if they're being sarcastic or if they're being for real. Hell, half the time when you can hear somebody talking, you don't know if they're being sarcastic or if they're being real. So I know damn well during a text message, telling you, shut up. You're gonna be like, excuse me? I'm calling you now. Did you just tell me to shut up? Like those woo, I know I've been in that situation before. You at work before arguing with your boyfriend and you're just like,
excuse me?
Excuse me guys, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Did you just tell me to shut So text arguments are actually longer. They contain more
Anticipatory
anxiety when waiting for response. Require more effort fighting. Example, crafting the perfect text. Lead to boundless communication, miscommunication, and misreading, and can be very difficult to actually stop or create a resolution.
Yeah, because then you start fighting over what the hell did you just say to me? It goes from what you're actually fighting about to fighting about what the interpretation of what they said. At least learn how to spell, learn how to punctuate, put a question mark, put a LOL, something, use a damn emojis.
Right.
Don't just speak in emojis, but at least use an emoji so I can go, oh, you were kidding.
I use GIFs a lot.
You weren't trying to get cussed out today.
Because I even feel like emojis can be misread.
Yes.
I feel like GIFs, like, you don't know exactly what I'm saying.
And some people don't know. That was another whole show we did, guys. But text message arguments rarely ever reach resolution and regularly lead to further discussion in real life. Learn how to pause and get out of conflict that begins to escalate via text message. Sample scripts are: can we pause this conversation? I'd rather not have it on text. This is an important conversation that would rather have in real life or face to face. Hold on, I'm going to call you in an hour. Those are ways to kind of diffuse that, because I dated somebody that refused to communicate anyway but text, and then wonders why it fell apart.
Sometimes it can be hard to stop initiating a text argument or responding to the other person's unrelenting messages.
Then you have to put a restraining order.
This is desperation and a defensiveness that is coming from a deregulated or dysregulated place.
Desperation.
Dysregulated
place.
Dysregulated place. I guarantee that you do not need to defend yourself or clarify. It's best to disengage. Don't ghost. Don't just cut them off. Provides a heads up and that you will be disengaging and that you would like to continue this conflict in real life.
That's it, guys. So like I've said from the beginning, you have a 90% chance that your text message will be misconstrued. And if you know that and you still insist on dating that way or communicating that way, that's your own damn fault. If you're single, don't come to me and don't ask me for no date coaching, because I just told you that's not the way to communicate.
She sure did. Text messages are horrible, people. I love them for
they're cute,
unimportant things,
yes.
But when it comes down to a serious conversation, just like business, emails are the same way. I don't like handling real business through emails or text messages because people can misunderstand what I say face to face. That way, there's no misunderstanding what I got to say. And if you do misunderstand me, I can correct you right then and there.
Because you can understand, 55% of your communication is non-verbal. All right, guys, so we got to get out of here. We hope this has helped you guys on how to really decipher if you are loving someone too much that's alienating your own needs. And 7 ways to stay mentally strong. Y'all go check us out. You can rewatch this on Boss Up Houston Facebook page or at the Boss Up Houston YouTube page. And coming soon, we're going to have the Matchmaker Hotline. You can also see us there as well.
Yes, you can. And for those of you who didn't get to catch the first half of the show, go check out our other website for our sponsor, Marridate.com. They are right behind us. If y'all guys want to make sure that you're at the right website, this is what our homepage looks like. You can scroll over to right here to the events tab and go check out our events. They are live.
Yes.
We have so much fun stuff this month.
So much.
I believe over the weekend we did zip lining, I believe it was. So, a lot of couples had fun doing that. Really, guys, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I cannot stress to you how much fun Marridate is. We got so many great things. So make sure you guys go check out Marridate.com and go and check us out on Facebook at The Amber Neal Show.
And AmberNeal.com.
AmberNeal.com. And absolutely don't forget to go hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube at the Boss Up Houston Network. That way we can start going live on YouTube.
Right.
So we will catch you out here tomorrow for Tough Love Tuesdays.
See ya.
Peace. Marridate, Houston's first private social club for couples.
Chris and I met on MySpace. We started doing music together first, and then we became really good friends, and we were friends for about 5 years. And then we started dating each other in 2008. By February 2009, we were engaged, and by November 2009, we were married. We have 3 children together that we have raised, and we have traveled the world together and eaten some of the best food in the world, and collectively have just built up an amazing network of friends and family and a circle of people that we just love and care about, and they continue to motivate and we continue to motivate them. We build our energy on our relationship with the energy that we can give to other people and the effect that we can have on other people's lives. And we're going on 12 years strong this year through all the obstacles and the goods and the bads. We're still together and we're here to share our story.
Join Marridate today by visiting www.marridate.com.